Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. I'm also gonna talk a little bit about what happened with FTX and why it's relevant today. But let's start with this from link 2. What would you do if XRP went to the moon? And they're showing $1,000 XRP. Same thing is going on with Uphold, saying what would you do if XRP was to reach $1,000? They're all of a sudden creating this narrative for $1,000 XRP. And the other exchanges are also pointing in the same direction, saying, what are you going to do when XRP moons? Why? Because everybody is expecting a major run-up to happen on the price of XRP. I'm telling you, alt season is going to be absolutely incredible. And all you got to do is wait for it to happen. This comes from Eleanor Tourette, a former SEC Gov lawyer who recently left the agency, tells me the SEC will probably appeal Judge Torres' July 2023 ruling concerning the XRP programmatic sales in the Ripple case, partly because everyone over there at the SEC truly believes that the decision is wrong. That is not good law and should be reappealed. Going to a deeper dive into the SEC's options and what we could see as we near the October 7th appeal deadline. Well, Jeremy Hogan weighed in. He says, of course, they think the opinion is wrong. They were on the losing side. What the SEC should be thinking of right now is whether an appeal is mandate of investor protection and capital formation. Why isn't that top of mind? More evidence the SEC has lost the plot. The SEC could appeal whatever they want. It doesn't mean they're going to win. And XRP is never going to be called a security again, no matter what happens from here. But I'll keep you up to date on what happens, if anything, as far as the SEC and an appeal. Donald Trump calls for Nancy Pelosi to be prosecuted for insider trading. Take a listen to this.
Nancy Pelosi sold vast amounts of Visa stock one day before the big lawsuit that we all read about a few days ago was brought against Visa. You think it was luck? I don't think. She should be prosecuted. Nancy Pelosi should be prosecuted for that.
I am so sick of these politicians getting away with insider trading. You know, if that was anyone else doing insider trading, they would be in jail. But these politicians do it time and time again, and nothing happens. This is the same reason I told you, if you're not already rich, you're not going to make money in the stock market. It's totally rigged against you. And Nancy Pelosi should definitely be prosecuted. Mark Cuban says, the mainstream media truly leans right. So the mainstream media is not who you think it is. Cuban explained to confuse Joe Kernan before dropping the ultimate untruth hammer. The mainstream media truly leans right. I think he's totally wrong. And we all know who controls the media. It's BlackRock. They control both sides of the narrative because they keep the country divided. That's what's really going on. And this is also who controls the media. George Soros is buying 200 radio stations. Bill Gates has donated over $390 million to the mainstream media, including the BBC. You have to realize something. The media is propaganda. You know, whenever you see these news anchors, they're actors. They're handed a script. They go out there and read the script. And whatever is on the script, that's what they go with. And the people that are controlling the media control the narrative. Incredible. Bill Gates donated a whopping $1.27 billion towards the UN Agenda 2030 global goals. Hundreds of millions going towards global digital ID. The mainstream media won't tell you this. Like I keep telling you, you are going to be a global citizen at some point. The open borders leads in this direction. All of a sudden, because we have open borders, there's going to be a need for digital ID. But you're not going to get a regular digital ID. You are going to become a global citizen. That's the end game. Now, let's talk about the fall of FTX and why it's relevant today. Maxine Waters, in a wide-ranging Q&A about her potential priorities as House Financial Services Chair, says, crypto is the future. She's committed to a stablecoin bill and wants to start from scratch on other crypto legislation. The reason they want to fast-track the stablecoin bill is because it fast-tracks the U.S. towards a central bank digital currency. A CBDC is just a stablecoin issued by the U.S. government. That's why they want to get that done as quick as possible. Now, when it comes to crypto legislation or crypto regulations, do you really want Maxine Waters working on that? Here's what I'm most worried about. I think they're going to try to make crypto only available to accredited investors going forward. If they have their way, they will get retail out of crypto. The other thing I'm worried about is that they want to see how much crypto you're holding inside of your Ledger or Decent wallet. They want to make sure you're paying taxes on all the crypto that you hold. Those are my two biggest worries. And I think Maxine Waters is not the right person for crypto regulations. If you want to know who Maxine Waters is, remember her blowing a kiss to Sam Bankman-Fried? You see it right here. And that's who she is, right before the fall of FTX, because that's what happened next. Brian Miller, FTX General Counsel, former Sullivan and Cromwell partner with Jay Clayton, former legal counsel to Gary Gensler at the CFTC, explains at Bitcoin Expo 2022 how what FTX did a few months later provided the government with the ammunition it needs to regulate crypto. Now, that happened back in 2022. Why did they not push for crypto regulations in 2023? Why didn't they push for stablecoin regulations in 2023? Because they were still getting that money laundered back to them. That's what it was all about. Congress sends money to Ukraine. Ukraine put it in FTX. Then FTX donates it back to the Democrats and Republicans as well. Ukraine did partner with FTX. It was both sides. It was both Democrats and Republicans getting those donations back from the Ukraine. And that's why they didn't pass stablecoin regulation in 2023 or crypto regulations in 2023. But now the money laundering is about to end. So now all of a sudden, they want to fast track stablecoin regulations and crypto regulations. And let's not forget, Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX was Tether's biggest customer and partner in crime. Bitfinex was the first to warn everyone that FTX was a massive fraud. Is proven right again. FTX fraudster Ellison sentenced to 2 years in prison, ordered to forfeit $11 billion. Now, what is everybody warning you about right now? The fall of Tether, because I think that is going to definitely happen next. All the signs are pointing to that happening. What's going on is the US still needed Tether. Remember, they're buying up the T-bills, but now they're starting to tokenize the T-bills. So there's really no need for Tether anymore here in the United States. So once they fast track those stablecoin regulations, that's going to be a massive hit to Tether. And the other massive hit is going to come from the EU at the end of 2024. Now, here's what I'm worried about, because the timeline lines up. Picture us in a massive bull run. Bitcoin is making new all-time high after new all-time high by the end of 2024. All of a sudden, Tether comes crashing down in the middle of that massive bull run. That can possibly happen. And honestly, I could see that happening by design. In other words, that would be the biggest hit to crypto in a long time. It would also push for a deeper regulations as well. So I'm following this closely, is what I'm telling you. And I'm waiting to see what comes next. I still think they're going to fast track those stablecoin regulations right before the election. That would also be a major hit to Tether right before the massive run-up. So is it going to be before, during, or after Bitcoin's massive run? Because I do believe Bitcoin's on track to hit above 100K. What's your thoughts on that? Put it in the comments section down below. Is Coinbase issuing paper Bitcoin to BlackRock and other ETFs? Now, this argument's going on all over X. And what's happening is a lot of Bitcoin holders are saying that the price of Bitcoin should be much higher than where it's at right now. They're saying that if BlackRock never did the ETFs, that Bitcoin would already be achieving a new all-time high even today. And I think they're on to something, because before BlackRock got involved with the ETFs, Bitcoin was already set to have a massive run and have new all-time highs. And a lot of people early on said it's because of BlackRock and the ETFs that Bitcoin was able to achieve a new all-time high earlier this year. Now they're leaning in the other direction. Coinbase is saying that none of this is fact, that they're holding all of the actual Bitcoin. But Bitcoin had a slight run up today, and all of a sudden Coinbase went down. So who's right and who is wrong here? Nobody really knows for sure. There's a lot of speculation on this though. But in my opinion, any ETF is creating value out of nothing. That's my honest opinion. Here's your future. This comes from Blue Hawk Legend. Silicon Valley billionaire calls for universal basic income because AI will handle 80% of work and 80% of jobs. Another billionaire is calling for UBI. Are you starting to notice the trend now? And AI is not slowing down. If anything, it's speeding up even more. So I do see us leaning towards UBI. And that's why I'm always telling you, when you hear the BIS and the IMF and the ECB saying that there's going to be parallel systems, I think crypto is going to be one of those parallel systems. In other words, if you're holding crypto and it's worth a hell of a lot of money, you could avoid UBI and a CBDC. You will be transacting in a different parallel system. But we're not quite there yet. But UBI is definitely going to be something to be concerned about in the very near future. Transportation companies hit by cyber attacks using Luma, Stealer, and Net Support malware. So again, more cyber attacks. We see it here as well. Major cyber attack hits public Wi-Fi at 19 UK rail stations, including 10 in London. So all of a sudden, we're starting to see the rise of cyber attacks again. And people are once again saying they're waiting for that big cyber attack that takes down the financial system. And honestly, I think it's going to most likely happen within the next year or so, because everything seems to be like it's a test to see how fast everything bounces back after a cyber attack. I think these cyber attacks are more of a test than anything else. And that's my opinion, because when the World Economic Forum is warning you of a massive cyber attack, I would pay attention, because most likely that's coming down from the elites at the top of the pyramid. But you know, we're XRP holders. If this current system was to go down, when it comes back online, we are going to get so rich. Like I keep telling you, you will be part of the new 1%. But until that happens, you gotta stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I wanna thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.